Good evening, and welcome along to the final big show in the current series. Coming up on the show tonight, I'll be talking all things Elvis with the King. Jim Brown is going to be here. We'll be talking fashion with the students from the University of Ulster, and we'll have some live music from Reeb. Starting things off, a group all the way from Buncrana, whose latest EP is called A Stupid Heart, and here they are performing live in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Don't Fear the Natives.
Face to face, it's gonna happen. Here it comes, you gotta give something. This tide will turn, let the fires burn out slowly. Here it comes, you gotta give something. Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way? Just one word and this could be heaven. Close your eyes and take yourself somewhere. This tide will turn, let the fires burn out slowly. Close your eyes and take yourself somewhere. Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way? Ride this wave, whatever the weather. This tide will turn, let the fires burn out slowly. Ride this wave, whatever the weather. Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way? Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way?
So that's a song called This Tide Will Turn from Don't Fear the Natives. And Dennis and Claire join us now in the studio. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you've had the EP out now for about the last almost a year, haven't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about the EP.
There's 4 tunes on it. The main track is called Stupid Heart, the Stupid Heart EP. It's done quite well for us at the moment. It's getting a lot of airplay globally, in America and Canada, locally here as well. And it's just basically 4 tunes that sit together really well and kind of show us off at our different kind of styles that we have. So the first tune, Stupid Heart, is very band and the alternative heavy sound. And the other 3 tunes, as you'll see, very light, very more acoustic based, you know. So we have different elements, different styles going on. We'd just like to showcase it with the EP.
Okay, now the first time I heard you guys was on the radio. It was a song called James Bond. Which I believe did very well.
It did well, not as well as Adele's James Bond did, but maybe we can bring it out for the next James Bond next year.
Exactly. Yeah. Claire, we'll bring you in. Tell us about Don't Fear the Natives. How did it all come about?
Well, Dennis and I sang years and years ago in a band called Guernica, with the drummer that's in the band now and with the bass player. So we've known each other a long time and we've stayed really good friends. And then we started singing together again about 10 years ago, just as a two-piece. We had the idea that we were going to be a covers band.
Right.
And of course then we decided then we were going to put one original tune in and then another original tune in. And then we became Palomino, which was kind of an electro-pop sort of a band. We released a couple of singles that actually did really well. But for us, especially I think for me, I just really wanted the band. But I really missed the band. I missed the noise. I missed the dynamics. And so we started gradually bringing in the others from the band, and then my husband Greg joined us and our friend Jenny joined us on keyboards. And we all get on really well and we have a great time together. So it's a lot of fun.
Now, Dennis, what about the name of the band, Don't Fear the Natives? Where did that come from?
It's kind of the most boring story you'll ever hear. You're sorry you asked me that. It's sort of like an in-band joke about using things or capos or something, or don't fear this, don't fear the capo, be grand. And, but we didn't have a name for the band. And I like the don't fear the, but it needed to be don't fear the something, whatever that something was going to be. So I sat on that for quite a while. And then we had a tune called Natives. Well, a bit like the Monkees, we have a tune named after ourselves, you know, just in case. But I kind of thought, don't fear that Natives. It just sat really well, like, you know, it had a little connotation to it, you know. I always imagine it being scrawled across the bottom of, you know, welcome to Buncrana, underneath, don't fear the Natives. But that hasn't happened yet, so I haven't done it yet. But it just started a bit different.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned Buncrana there, because that's where you guys are based. It must be a great part of the world to live in.
It's fantastic at this time of year when the sun's shining. It's a beautiful neck of the woods, plus the whole environment around it as well. It
is festival season at the moment as well. You've just finished one, haven't you?
We have. We've just finished Fantastival, which was amazing. It's one of my favourite festivals. I'm a real festival lover. Because I've got the camper van, it makes it easy to go to festivals, and I really love my music festivals. Fantastival, obviously with the Volkswagen kind of a family that we have there, it was just the most amazing experience. We just had a great time, didn't we? It was really good.
And then Dennis, you've got one coming up at the end of the month with the Hothouse Flowers, haven't you?
Yeah, we're playing Buncrana Music Festival, which is the 28th of June and the 29th of June as well. They've got a great lineup. Just a great band, great Irish bands, Hothouse Flowers, Blizzards, Hudson Taylor, quite a few of them. Us, of course. We're on before the Hothouse Flowers, I think on the Friday.
All right, Dennis, you're going to perform one more track before you go. What are you going to do this time?
Yeah, we're going to do one more tune off our EP, and this is called Just Talk to Me.
So Dennis and Claire, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, performing live one more time. Here are Don't Fear the Natives.
Game of give and take between us. Every move you make, just stay still, just stay still. A single word to make it right. Please don't fall asleep tonight. I'm listening, I'm listening. Just talk to me like that again. Lying here is not enough. I'm waiting for those words that cut like a knife. As you look me in the eye, just talk to me like that again. Just talk to me like that again and again. I can't move when you're tied in your grip. There's no escape when the panic sets in. The final breath is all names. Just beckon me to come and play your game. Lying here is not enough. I'm waiting for those words that cut like a knife. As you look me in the eye, just talk to me like that again. Just talk to me like that again. Just talk to me like that again. Just talk to me like that again.
Time to talk of fashion now, and I went along to St Anne's Cathedral in Belfast the other day for the University of Ulster's graduate fashion show to meet some top fashion designers of the future. Here's what happened. Tell me this, are we producing lots of really good fashion people these days here in Northern Ireland?
We're producing lots of fantastic textiles and fashion people because obviously Northern Ireland, Belfast, has the heritage, has that textile heritage, you know, with linen, and before linen, wool. So, and we would like to keep that going actually, and obviously that's, you know, it's in our DNA. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Owen, first of all, your designs are featured on the screen behind us there. It's your designs that have been on all the billboards all around Belfast. First of all, how does that feel?
Amazing just to see your work across the city, especially stuff you've been working on the last months. My graduate collection, Brubus, is suburb backwards, so I'm kind of playing with the idea of suburban, like mundane objects and kind of routines. So it's a few jackets that I've designed and put them back together with different fabrics from inspiration from family members and his kind of historical elements as well.
How long does it take to get a collection ready for a fashion show like this?
Well, as this is my first collection that I've ever really got together, it takes quite a while. A lot of inspiration goes behind it, and sort of sourcing materials as a big part of my sort of collection, so it took about 9 months for me.
Tell us about the inspiration then behind this outfit.
Well, I was inspired by the French Revolution, so it was sort of the hybrid between the breakdown of the excessive French court and then sort of compared with the uprising of the revolutionaries. So it's sort of, you get a mix of both elegant and sort of that sort of peasantry sort of style.
What kind of creations have you got?
So all of my collections are based around sustainability, so I've used all second-hand and reclaimed fabrics to create it. So this look here, the jacket and trousers were both made from reclaimed curtains from the 70s. So yeah, I think it's quite a statement piece, one of my favourite ones. Yeah, and the rest have all been from second-hand, nothing's been bought new, all just like with consciousness to the helping the planet and the environment.
So if anybody has any old curtains lying around, you can make use of them.
Yeah, totally, out of anything. Yeah, there's all sorts coming down the catwalk, but I won't tell you what they are.
See this fabulous outfit here, and I have to say, I'm kind of matching it a little bit today, aren't I?
I think that was meant to be there. Yeah, so Emily's wearing the second outfit from my collection, so it's made from British wool and waste cellulose fibres, because I'm passionate about sustainability and how our fashion choices affect our natural environment. So I've ethically sourced all my yarns and hand dyed them, so it's a mixture of hand crochet and machine knitting. So.
Wow, and I can see even the earrings are woolen earrings.
So when you have like the waste, you always have a certain percentage of waste, so it's important for me to recycle that and put it into back into the circular economy. So I make earrings and small accessories as well with the waste yarn. Okay. Yeah, so.
Fabulous bag as well.
Thank you.
Since I'm talking to all these fashion experts today, have I made a good effort coming here this afternoon with this outfit?
I definitely think those boots are quite something. I do think they're pretty snazzy.
Glad she said that. We've been trying to get the boots in all today. What?
Maybe Owen didn't say that.
No, we didn't say that, no. No, we like her. We like her, we do. Tell me this, could you design me a special jacket for the TV show?
Oh, depends on what we're asking for. What, print? Yeah, so leave it with me. I can get Marie Antoinette's head on or something for you.
There we go. Got myself a new outfit as well. Now we're looking ahead to the 24th of September. There's going to be a massive charity gig at the Grand Opera House in Belfast to remember the broadcasting legend Gerry Anderson. A number of Ireland's top musicians and singers are taking part on that night, including Brian Kennedy, Brona Gallagher, the Miami Show Band, The Adventures, Rosemary, and the guy who joins me now in the studio, aka the King. It's Jim Brown. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Robin.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, for asking me.
So we're looking forward to this big gig in the Grand Opera House on the 24th of September. To remember Gerry Anderson, it's going to be his 5th anniversary this year. So if you want to tell us, what's your memories of the late, great Gerry Anderson?
Gerry was totally down to earth. He would have took time to you know, it wasn't just a run-of-the-mill showbiz thing, or, you know, that passing ships or whatever. He would have socialised with you when we did cruises together, and you know, he took the time to talk to everyone on board. You know, very nice man. I really liked him.
And of course, it was thanks to Gerry that you kind of got the big break, really, wasn't it?
Gerry and John Peel, God rest both of them, they were basically the first disc jockeys in the UK to play Gravelands, my debut album, and I have always said, Robin, that's what led to me ended up getting a record contract with an international label. You know, so I've never forgotten that.
Gravelands is still an album that people still talk about today because at the time it was such an unusual concept, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was a new angle in the Elvis world of things. And when Bob Kennedy first approached me, he heard me singing at the Belfast Dockers Club. Straight away he wanted me to go to London with him to record, and I said, record what? You know, you can't repaint the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
You know, the masters already made the masterpieces, so we need to come up with something else. He says, well, 20 modern hit songs. And I says, well, funny enough, a song that I always would have loved to have heard Elvis cover was the Sex Pistols version of Eddie Cochran's Something Else.
Yeah.
And Bob really liked that idea, and he then bounced off me with Nirvana, which out of their repertoire, I chose Come As You Are.
Yeah.
And he flew back to London several days later. He called me, he says, Jim, we were in the bar last night playing a gig and talking to the boys, and somebody suggested a Bob Marley song. Do you reckon you could? And of course then I laughed, and it was at that point we realised that each artist was deceased. And
yeah.
But the funny thing was, Robin, that Bob or I didn't give it its genius of a name. The Gravelands title came from a friend of Bob's who heard what we were doing and thought it was a great concept, and that's how it was born. Gravelands came into fruition, and I still scratch my head and go, did that really happen to me? You know, the places it took me all over the world, and working alongside people like Will Smith and Robbie Williams, and TV work, you know, right across Europe and America. And the King is just a concept.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
If you're not walking out there saying, I am Elvis tonight, you're
yeah,
not doing
no,
that,
no,
you know?
that's exactly,
yeah.
Robin. I always said that it was all about Elvis. You know, Bob Kennedy said to me, you know, when we started the whole concept, what are you going to call yourself? And I says, I can't call myself James Brown. We have a James Brown. I can't call myself Jim Brown because he's a legendary Super Bowl football player in America. And I says, I remember us playing. It was in a bar off Times Square in New York because we were shooting a video for Come As You Are, and we took a break. And I said, well, it's all about Elvis.
Yeah.
Not just you know, rock and roll's great dead. It's mainly about Elvis. How about the King? And Bob loved it, and he thought, yeah, it's got to be the King.
Of course, after Gravelands, there was the Return to Splendour album, wasn't there?
Return to Splendour, yes, was the follow-up. I didn't want to call it Gravelands 2.
Yeah.
That would have been too naff. So yeah, Return to Splendour, a pun on one of Elvis's songs, and on it we did Sympathy for the Devil and Memory of Brian Jones, and LA Woman for Jim Morrison, Stevie Ray Vaughan, A Whole Lot of Love for John Bonham out of Led Zeppelin. Just all the great rock songs, and that was the twist, the concept with Gravelands of what if Elvis had recorded all these great. We know it's not Elvis, but we're just pretending.
So back to Gerry, 24th of September in the Grand Opera House here in Belfast. What can we expect from your set on the night? Are you going to do some of the Graveland stuff?
Well, yeah, because Gerry was, as I say earlier, he was a huge fan of Gravelands. You know, he loved Elvis. Really looking forward to it. For us all, it will be. I'm sure there'll be a little tear in the eye and a lump in the throat. You know, thinking of. I mean, because he really did. To me, Gerry was like, he was like our version of John Peel.
Yeah.
You know, the way I always said at the time, way back in the 70s, if John Peel played something new, I think Gerry was our own version of that, because he really did a lot for local talent in Northern Ireland and further afield. You know. So, I'm really thankful that you've asked me to be part of it, and for in his honour and his name, his memory.
All right, well, Jim, we look forward to seeing you 24th of September.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. And of course, Gerry Anderson's tribute night takes place at the Grand Opera House here in Belfast on the 24th of September, with all proceeds going to Action Cancer, the Foyle Hospice and Tiny Life. To book your tickets, go to the website goh.co.uk. Time now for some more live music, and this time we're going to feature a band called Ree and the new song Father Son.
When I was 14, took your heart and took your time. Remember, love was such a simple thing. Made you laugh and I made you smile. Remember what your father said to me: you're not in love, you're far too young. Remember what your mother did to me, my boy. Your father's son. Took me years to think it over. Inside a bed I'm lying drunk. Inside a cell with one less lung. Still he came to take me home. He said, hold on to your love, oh, to your innocence. You're not your father's son.
And we'll have some more live music from Ree a little bit later on, and you can also catch them live at the Crescent Arts Centre here in Belfast on the 26th of July for their brand new EP launch. Time now for our What's On guide, where we take a look and see what's happening throughout Belfast and beyond over the next week or so. And we're starting off with a movie this week. And Bill Nye, Sam Riley and Alice Lowe star in a stylish and heartfelt comedy drama about a Scrabble-obsessed tailor searching for a lost son. Sometimes, Always Never runs at the QFT here in Belfast from the 21st until the 27th of June. And here's a clip from the film.
Whenever you make a decision, whatever you choose, there's another universe somewhere where you made the opposite choice.
I can't remember where you said to meet now.
Coast Guard Station.
Is it near the sea?
There are mysteries unsolved.
Rocket Man, the ultimate Elton John tribute starring Andy Crosby, comes to the Courtyard Theatre in Newton Abbey on the 20th of June. As featured on the Even Better Than the Real Thing TV show and endorsed by Hercules, the Elton John fan club, this show features all the hits including Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Crocodile Rock, Nikita, I guess that's why they call it the blues, and many more. Rebel Rebel, the David Bowie experience, returns to the limelight on Friday the 21st of June. And Rebel Rebel are a six-piece David Bowie tribute, faithfully recreating the most popular songs from Bowie's extensive back catalogue. Singer-songwriter Anthony Toner comes to the Portico Arts and Heritage Centre in Portaferry on the 21st of June to celebrate the release of his 9th album, Our Lady of the Wind and Rain. Expect a great night of songs, old and new, including his hit Sailor Town. Ireland's leading ABBA tribute show, Bjorn Identity, returned to the Empire on the 22nd of June, taking you on a musical journey where audiences can relive and discover the magic of the Swedish supergroup ABBA and their musical legacy that lives on and on and on. The 2-hour show features all the classics, including songs from the hit musical Mamma Mia. And finally for now, if you want to catch a movie in cinemas this weekend, the remake of Child's Play is finally here. A mother gives her son a toy doll for his birthday, unaware of its more sinister nature.
Introducing your new best friend.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
Now, as it's the last show in the current series, we're going to take a look back at some of our highlights over the past 21 shows. Have a look at this.
I remember one time we were doing I was a judge on a search for a star competition. It was actually down in Wexford, but I had Mary Byrne. You know, Mary Byrne was on the X Factor. She was on one side of me, and there was a couple of actresses from the Dublin show Fair City and stuff with me. And they were looking and they were asking my opinion, do you see, on what do you think of this artist, this act on singing, you know. And I was like, you know, you've got great ornamentation there now, and I like your Irishness. And I was trying to think of, I come from the country, I wasn't educated on fancy words, you know.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, the only way I can explain it is you've got a great nya. Well, the whole thing erupted. And it was brilliant because the whole audience was with me because they all knew what I was talking about, you know what I mean? And then Mary Byrne beside me, and poor Mary nearly fell over her seat. She was laughing her way. Could you imagine on the X Factor? Could you imagine Louis Walsh or somebody turning around and going,
he should do it,
you know, sitting beside Simon Cowell going, there's one thing about you've got a great nya. But Mary nearly fell over her seat anyway, but it was great fun. It was great fun.
I remember the day when I earned my first pay. And I sang in a small pickup band. There I spent my youth, and to tell you the truth, I was sad to leave it all behind me. For I learned about life, and I found a wife in the town so well.
Talking about beautiful women, you're friends with Pamela Anderson as well, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, funny. I was looking at Pamela's Twitter today. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we did work together, and I spent Christmas Day with her back in 2010. We had Christmas dinner at the Hilton in Liverpool. Because I was working with her, we did pantomime together.
Yeah, yeah.
And she couldn't get home to America for Christmas Day, and I couldn't get home to Ireland. So we were the only two on English soil who didn't have families to go to. So she invited me over for Christmas dinner. And it was really surreal. It was like my first Christmas ever away from Lurgan with my folks and my family. And there I am sitting with Pamela Anderson at a table in the Hilton. It was.
And is she just down to earth, or is she this big diva star?
No, not at all. I've met a lot less famous people than Pamela who have bigger egos.
I would stand for hours. I've walked through some showers with my dancing shoes and my dreams and views. I'd walk upon an empty stage with one light on my face, to be told don't phone us, but we'll phone you. Tell me so, yeah, just how far I need to go to be a star, to be a star. Every day the same old scene, the same old happenings, 100 miles of shores, and yet no place to go. But when your luck is all out, you're asked to take a bow. You've just stolen the show, but now you're on your.
So I'm going to take you back to the events of 1975. Still to this day, Des, it's something you have to live with on a daily basis, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's, look, Robin, I wake up with it every morning. I've got photographs of the lads in my lounge, in my bedroom. So I live with it 365 days of the year, 24 hours a day. You know, it's something that I have to live with. Very painful at times, especially when we come close to the anniversary and things like that. Fran's birthday, Brian, Tony's birthdays, all those sorts of things, it all brings it back to me. So it's very, very painful.
How important is Gary Moore as a musician to Belfast?
Incredibly important. He was a child prodigy, you know. I met him in Hollywood, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And he was about 11 years of age. And I think his father ran the gig, this little wooden hall in Hollywood. And I was with a little band from Belfast called the Deltones then. And we arrived at the gig, and I heard this guitar playing, and walked in, and he was up on stage. Like, he had a little band, I think they were called the Beat Boys. And I watched him for a while before we went on, and I remember watching him doing Help by the Beatles. And I said, I wonder, can he get that little doodle-dee, doodle-dee, doodle-dee?
Yeah.
And he did, he got it perfect. And I went, God almighty, wow.
All your scars, your hurts in a sack on your back. They can only hurt you if you keep them secret. Let me share the burden, let me bear witness. If you need a low bed, don't forget about me. Na 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 na. Don't forget about me.
Is it difficult to learn the accordion, or?
But I think if you have the ear for music, it's always going to be a bit easier anyway, do you know? And sure, I was reared up with it, so.
Yes.
But to play it by ear is very good, not to be dependent on the on the notes, I think. Anyway.
Now, ones that I've seen before have like the piano keys on them, but yours have these weird button things. How do you work the buttons?
Yeah, like certain notes are in, certain notes are out, whereas the piano accordion, it doesn't, you know, whatever. Some of them are on the draw and some of them are in, it doesn't really matter, you know, but you have to know what they are on this or it won't sound right. Yeah. So it probably is a little bit harder.
Okay, what are you going to do for us then?
That's a good question, I don't know. Ash, we'll do a few jigs.
Okay.
We'll do a few jigs. Haste to the Wedding anyway is the name of the first one.
Kieran, can you believe it's 30 years since Brand New Star?
No, I don't. I think you made that up. I think, see the way people lie on TV and they smile and then people accept it as truth. It's actually just 10 years wrong. I think you need to get your calculator fixed. It is hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brand New Star. And you know, you have to begin somewhere. And for me, that album was like a statement of intent, I always say. And it's not a perfect album, but it was an album that in many ways marked a spot of where I was at as a songwriter. And even in today's show, there's songs from that album, like Brand New Star, Just Around the Corner, All That You Ask Me, that have survived and still would be the songs that people would shout out for at shows. And for me as a writer, I very much took the view from the start that I was interested in building a catalogue of songs that would come to represent something. And you know, 12, 13 albums later, I'm still on chasing that.
They breed mistrust and fill my heart with dread. When did the boy become a man and lose his life to learn? So much confusion to this plan. These times are not changing. Show me the love to keep us together. Open up your hearts, don't turn me away. Comfort me through this stormy weather from where I stand. And I see a broken land.
And that's all we have time for on the big show for this series. So a big thank you to all my guests over the past 21 shows. We're going to finish with some more live music from Ree. And here they are performing, dancing through Eden. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Flowers, and I can see towers of gold. Oh, and I can see a trampoline, but we're never meant to feel so old. Oh, I can see you, and I can see you're trying. Oh, I owe you my love. I never meant to see you crying. Oh, we coming through the river, and we dance upon the shore. Oh, we're dancing through the garden of Eden, a time of before. Dream of a lover, we're dancing through the snow. Oh, I owe you my love. We're never meant to feel alone. Oh, I can see you, and I can see you're trying. Oh, I owe you my love. I never meant to see you crying. We coming through the river, and we dance upon the shore. Oh, we're dancing through the Garden of Eden, a time of before. Coming through the river, and we dance upon the shore. Oh, we're dancing through the Garden of Eden, a time of before.